Well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Let's Paint. And today, as you already know from the thumbnail, we're going to try our hand at Owlman. Now, I honestly cannot remember where exactly I had gotten Owlman from. I will check my Etsy purchase listings, and you will have it right here. So, thank you to whoever the hell you are. I'm sorry I didn't look it up before I started. I really was just too excited, distracted. Whatevers. And we're just gonna try our hand at this one, honestly. I'm not gonna expect too much from myself. Honestly, because Owlman doesn't take, it's not like he has a beautiful color palette to him. Any of you who knows Owlman knows how awesome he is, how deadly he is, and how, I would dare even say, how insane he is. So what we're starting with is Army Painter Ash Gray, because I had primed him in Rust-Oleum Flat Gray. For those that keep forgetting that I prime my minis, I don't know how you keep forgetting things like that. Oh, how we assume. He is primed. All of my miniatures are primed. Yeah, I don't really use Citadel paints. I don't use the spray paints yet. They're a little costly. And I just haven't made that kind of commitment yet to Citadel. As much as I like them. So we do use Rust-Oleum. Because there ain't nothing wrong with that. And yesterday, I did something for the first time in ages. And that was not get laid. Let's not be that. Let's not be that person, guys. Of course I got laid. Tricky tricksters with your funny games. Anyway, what I did was order from Hero Forge. I haven't done that in forever, and honestly, it was their Instagram post about all the tariffs that have been going on. That kind of made me go, hey, I ought to order something. And I had won a little bit of a shout out from another YouTuber, not in the business of YouTube, but just in the business of that I was a fan, and that my children were fans. That I'm not going to say anything about who it is at the moment because I asked their permission to record such things, and I don't feel like making anyone mad. So if they say yes, you can expect to see it on the show. If they say no, well, you could just expect to see it. Because I spent the money on the miniature. I'm going to paint the damn thing. But when it comes to Owlman, I don't actually have all that many experiences reading him. And I think that's because he's just not in a lot of stories. And for a character like him, I'm okay with this because there's a lot people could do. As in, there's a lot they could ruin. There's an awful lot they could ruin. Now, with this statue, we're going to kind of just leave him gray because we have this oxidizer by Technical Paint, or by Citadel. And it's supposed to help us with stone and even some metals to show some oxidation. It's supposed to weather it, make it look good. But with Owlman, with some of the pictures that I've been seeing, he, of course, the evil version of Batman, but he's also, as much as he is into stealth, he does have metal even on his face. It depends on who's drawing him, honestly, but we are going to go with that because it's a pretty cool look. It is a pretty cool look. I spent about 10 minutes looking at all my miniatures going, man, what am I going to paint? Because the plan this morning was to wake up and exercise. Because I had not exercised in a few days. I was resting my shoulder. And then other things were just, I was tired. Just blatantly. I was tired, man. And the exercising that I had been doing, yes, it's given me a much needed energy boost throughout regular days in life. You know, I feel like I'm in attack mode, not in a violent way. I feel like I'm in go mode, I guess I should say. And that has been a great feeling so far. But you know, I have a tweaked shoulder from skateboarding and then just other crap. So I wanted to take it easy because I was having a lot of trouble just lifting everyday things. Almost everyday thing. I mean, there's absolutely a weight limit that came with that. But yeah, I was having a hard time lifting some stuff, and it was tweaking my shoulder. It was really, really hurting it. So I was like, all right, I need to take it easy for a minute. And we are going to color his belt silver too, because just like old school Batman, he had that gold or yellow belt. So we're going to give him a silver belt to go with everything. Because we like to match. We like to match. And there you go. He's that simple. Now, you might be asking yourself, Trooper, you insane man. What are you going to do with the rest of him? Well, we're going to go with some dark stone for his cape. Or we could go with necromancer cloak, which, you know, we might try. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and get some barbarian flesh out. The old trusty barbarian flesh. Come on. I just need a dab. There you go. And we're going to get that face. The little speckle that is his face. Because, like Batman, he does have an open cowl. Well, it's open in the face. And our music choice is very different today. Right now, it is... I've done this before. It is the soundtrack to Sim Coaster. It's the soundtrack to Sim Coaster because I grew up playing that game and I love it. So if I can let you see who... My bad about the camera shaking so much, guys. So yeah. If we will take a look at this necromancer cloak. See if I can clear out some of this. Because necromancer cloak is a little runny. Now you can see how not very mixed it is. I don't even tell in there, but yeah, it's got that kind of weird mix to it, and all that really takes is for us to take a brush and kind of swirl a little bit. Yeah, just like that, and you get that kind of color, and it's a little weird. But if we take dark stone, put it right next to it, you can see it's almost the same shade. Whereas that's going to be more gray, and this just has a weird hue to it. And I'm not exactly sure what color my mind is trying to say that it is. So, either way, I say that we just go ahead and paint. Because, excuse me. because we're already basically halfway through the episode, we might as well. And we hadn't done jack. So let's go ahead and paint his gloves and his boots that darker color. His necromancer cloak sounds really cool in and of itself. Like the name, that sounds really cool. And that sounds like an Owlman thing. I don't see him having Loyalist Gray. I see him having something like this. It's good enough for necromancer cloaks. So why not? Judging by the quality of this print, I have a feeling I know which shop it came from. But as to not get my notes wrong off the top of my head, I am not going to bother saying. There's a couple of key factors that are giveaways. One, it's good quality print, and then two, you got that little hole right there. Get that little hole. And it's usually the giveaway for me when it comes to certain places. But everybody uses all types of 3D printers. And then I'm sure people have much of the same. Like they'll have the same kind of printer as everyone else. I was looking at 3D printers, and I think I was looking at an Elgu or something like that. An Elgu? I don't know. Elgato? We'll just say it's that, because I'm pretty sure that's not the name, and no one cares. I'd been looking at 3D printers because, yes, I have things I want to paint. I had ideas for things to print. The major problem was money, but the other problem was having a well-ventilated area. Because if I'm not mistaken, when it comes to 3D printing, you kind of do want to have your printer and everything and whatnot away from yourself and your family and all that. And we still don't have a place to do that. So I haven't worried about it. I'm sure people are like, oh no, it's upstairs in a bedroom and we're fine. Not that anybody sleeps in that room, but it's up there and we're fine. Just air out that room, ventilate it, blah, 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 blah. I'm sure there are ways I could make things work, and it's not as dangerous as it might have made it out to be. I really, really don't know, because I'm not painting it, or I don't have one. And I looked into it, but then the biggest deciding factor was, dude, money. I don't have the spare like $500 it would take to get a basic setup going, just for starters. I really don't. That $500 I'd rather spend elsewhere. Hell, 2 of it recently went to the new Slanesh pack from Games Workshop, because everybody knows that I have some Slaneshi Night Lords for the Sanguine Heresy, and Daddy wants to get that done. Alright, those look really good. I think Necromancer Cloak was the right way to go, so we are going to continue with Necromancer Cloak. I almost bet you this will be another 3-episode deal, or another 2-episode deal. I wanted Bizarro to be a 3-episode, and I even called it out in the video where I was like, this needs to be a 3-episode. Anything less would be a dishonor to my family. Dishonor on your family! Dishonor on your cow! Dishonor on your brushes! There's a low blow. Any miniature painter would, hey, you don't curse a man's brushes. But I would say you can try to curse my brushes all you want. I will just harness the power of the ancients, of the gods of the warp. And we will be alright. But I can see he clearly has this collar going around for his cape. So we are going to go down just like that. The Necromancer cloak is working out perfect. I'm very glad that we decided to go with this. But I need a bigger brush for this now. So we're going to put that away. And we're going to get this bad boy back out. This is just a 1 gauge. I could go with a 2, but we're going to keep it still small. Do some thick paint, big old strokes in a downward fashion. I want it to go with the cloak. Anything crossing would just not help our case. Every now and then you have to hit it horizontal, get any of the cracks that you might miss. But otherwise, you do want to paint in a downward fashion. It does help. It really, really does. Because any of your brush strokes that might show up, it just kind of looks like it goes with it. Like it's that fabric. I swear. So like the only 2 real examples I think I have of dealing with Owlman are Justice League Earth 2, which confuses everybody because the Crime Syndicate, which Owlman is a part of, is from Earth 3, but not according to Grant Morrison, who wrote the book, JLA Earth 2. And I have no problem with it being on Earth 2. I really don't. You know, just an exact opposite mirror to us, right next door. And it makes it that much more deadly, in my opinion, if they were right next door. Another example would have been some of the multiversal crossover stuff in some of the crises that have happened, the crises. And JLA Earth 2 was kind of translated into an animated film. Crisis on 2 Earths, I think is what they call it. Where James Woods plays Owlman. And at first I was like, dude, are you kidding me? And I will absolutely tell you, dude, he does a great job. No, his voice is not the most threatening thing in the world. And you know what? It does not matter. He makes it work. Because he's just got that tone to him. And he's got that little bit of arrogance. Not to say that James Wood is arrogant. Because I don't know the man. But when it comes to him doing the voiceover act for Owlman, dude, badass job, man. You made a very threatening character, and I love it. You could tell in his voice that he has the decades of superiority, but also being able to hold his own against people like Ultraman. Because, good lord, like Ultraman isn't scary as shit. You know, your classic evil Superman. But even Ultraman's kind of a pushover because, let's face it, if he wanted to, he really could just destroy everything, but he doesn't. And that's not to say that he's a pushover because he doesn't destroy everything. You know, if he destroys everything, what else is he going to do? Now he has nothing to do. He has no one to rule over. He has no one to push around and all that stuff. Superwoman, absolute menace. She's an absolute menace and a terror. But at 19 minutes, we are going to call it here. We're going to let that cape dry a bit. We're going to hit. We're going to come back and hit the oxidizer. We're going to hit some edge highlights. And that's probably it. Probably it for him. I might just paint the base black and just leave it at that. Not do anything all that special with it, honestly. But I guess I'll see you on the next oh my god. I will see you all on the next episode. Okay. May the Void Father guide your brush. Peace.